He's followed night and day by a battalion of reporters, while President Biden can barely get a headline in a high school newspaper. So if Manchin has the power to skunk the president's legacy agenda, is he the one holding all the cards? And what does this mean for Democrats and the White House for the midterms and 2024? Here to discuss, Fox News chief political anchor and host of Special Report on the Fox News channel, the one and only Bret Baier. Hi, Bret.
Hey, Kennedy.
Last night
I haven't been on the boat, by the way.
Oh, you have not been on? I just assumed you. That wasn't even my first question, because I assumed you had been on the boat because yacht life. How good is the boat? What have you heard?
Well, it does bring Democrats and Republicans together, and they go on little cruises and they have cocktails, I'm told. But I have not been there, so I don't know. But I will tell you that Manchin is holding the cards, and to the point where Senator Romney, getting on the elevator, said, "President Manchin, how are you?" And he's not far from the truth, because this pushback, led by him, but other moderate Democrats who are kind of under the Manchin umbrella, are happy they're not voting on Build Back Better, and they might not be in its current form.
So what moves Joe Manchin? What is the thing that motivates him one way or the other? Because whatever Democrat leadership is doing, that's not working. So what is the thing? Is it his constituents? Is it the bottom line? Is he one of the last few fiscally responsible Democrats in Washington? What is his motivation?
Well, the latter is definitely a piece of it. He talks about the deficit and debt a lot. He's concerned that we're spending too much money. He references the fact that we spent $1.9 trillion in March on the COVID relief package. We just had a bipartisan infrastructure bill that was roughly $2 trillion. And in the old days, $800 billion was a lot of money. This is, adding up and adding up. And he is not a person who suffers fools well. He doesn't like when they try to trick with gimmickry and say a program's going to last 2 years, when in reality it's supposed to be 10. And when you do it to 10, it becomes a $5-6 trillion bill. So that's a big thing for him. And what's not going to work is progressive push and stomping and marching around West Virginia, because guess what? West Virginia, every county voted for Donald J. Trump last time around. And he's a Democrat who's surviving in that environment.
Yes, and it is a very red state. And I think that's why Republicans go easier on him than Democrats do, because are they hopeful that he's going to switch parties? Is that realistic? Or does he like being in this Goldilocks lane?
I think he likes the attention. I think he likes the being in this position. I think if he left the Democratic Party because they forced him out, he would be an independent. Yeah. And he would caucus potentially with the Republicans. But he has a long history of being a Democratic governor in West Virginia. He sits in the seat of Robert Byrd, longtime senator from West Virginia.
Oh, yes.
Democrat, and so he sees the tradition there. I don't think he's going to give up the party. I do think he's going to push back hard on Build Back Better.
I think he's going to keep pushing, and it's interesting because there are Democrat senators who are pushing right back. Cory Booker, he doesn't like the President Manchin title. He thinks that he's getting way too much attention for being a centrist. That has to be completely foreign to the progressive wing of the party.
They're so upset, Kennedy. They're pulling their hair out. I mean, let alone the House side, that the progressives are just so mad that they agreed to separate the infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better, knowing that this was going to happen. It's sort of like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. They knew what was going to happen when the anvil is going to fall, but they did it anyway, and now it's not going to come together for them, and it may not in 2022. We have to see.
Well, we will have to see, because a lot of these problems that Joe Manchin, Republicans and Democrats, that they're all navigating, they're not going away anytime soon. They're all very much dug in. It just remains to be seen who's on the right side and who's going to come up with the math. That's why we watch your showroom, because it is fantastic and honest. Bret Baier, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Thank you.
See ya.